Hi, Dennis. Hi, Penelope. How are you
Hey
both?
Josh, how you doing?
Good, we're
Yeah,
good.
great, thank you. And so excited to speak to you both today. As a longtime fan of both of your work. And,
Thank
this
you.
is such an epic political and love story, but you also get to explore some key moments in Hollywood history, which I thought was interesting. So, what did you both enjoy most about delving into that side of Ronald and Nancy's shared history in Hollywood?
Well, I think the fact that they both were actors and that obviously we can relate to that. I think finding their love story and learning about it to me was so fascinating. It was information I didn't know, and that's what's fun for me as an artist is finding things out about these iconic figures that you didn't know. And I think that's hopefully what's fun for the audience too, is to see all the different sides, seeing his beginnings. He came from very humble beginnings. The fact that his father was an alcoholic, that his mother played a key role in his life, that his love for Nancy helped lift him to become the man he became. All that to me, and seeing, like you said, his first marriage in Hollywood and being this a Screen Actors Guild president, being a Democrat, turning Republican. I mean, all those things that maybe people don't know, but hopefully there is the epic part of it, there is the historical part of it, but there's the heart. And I think, this love story is the heart of the film and hopefully moves people by the end of it as well. And what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
What
What do you have to say?
what she said,
What you said?
which it was a part that he was my favorite president. And so I didn't say yes right away, but I didn't say no. And I had to get uh to a place where I could feel him. And that took a while because I wanted to do it justice.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we both,
Well,
yeah, wanted to play real people. We didn't want to play impersonations. So we needed to learn as much as we could to find out all those nuances. And it's also great to be in a movie about characters and real people. And we got to, we had so much fun playing opposite each other. And I don't know, I don't think there's a lot of movies out there right now that are like this kind of movie that everybody can go see. And it's not just an action-filled special effects horror film or something. I
well, we
think,
all go to movies to feel things more than see things. And this is big on that.
yeah,
Whether you were alive during that time or not,
yeah.
you'll if you were alive during that time, you can remember what this country was like. And if you weren't, you could realize what this country could still be, by the way. And we all went through this. It was the greatest generation, really. He and Reagan and Nancy were part of America's greatest generation.
So we
World
were
War
all great.
II and the Depression and what they sacrificed and what they accomplished. They won the Cold War along with Maggie Thatcher and the Pope and Lech Walesa. Yeah.
Well, their years in the White House, the 80s. I mean, everybody goes back, thinks about the 80s, and they kind of have great memories of and those were the Reagan years, those 8 years in the White House. So it's like you look back on it, and that was my childhood.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun to step into those shoes, however big and daunting a task it was. I think it was fun to go back there, and hopefully audiences will feel the same way.
John Travolta dancing with Princess Di in the White House.
That
That
was
was
the
a good
Reagan
one.
years. Yeah.
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 yeah, and as you said, Dennis, President Ronald Reagan, he remains this iconic, beloved figure, many people's favorite presidents. But so for you, what would you say the biggest challenge was of perfecting his mannerisms and the inflections of his voice
Well,
without
the
it becoming a
mannerisms,
bit?
I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish.
No, no, go ahead. No, I'm just
Well, the
saying.
mannerisms and everything, which is what everybody does, it was about making it natural. And then, I had a year to do that with the voice and that and the other. It was really getting uh under the skin, something that people don't know, or generally, or making it at least making a decision about that and just feeling close to him. Reagan was also during his presidency, I think everybody's dad in a way, for better or worse. He was either your good dad or the strict dad that you rebelled against or whatever. He was that to everybody. And those feelings still prevail even today. And it makes it, he was a man of principles who stuck to those principles.
And I think it helped too. We watched a lot of interviews, we read books. Obviously you can see him in so many places and photographs and all of that, just to capture the expressions, to capture the voice. But in essence, we wanted to capture the essence, really. And that's
It's also a love story.
yeah, and
That's the thing. At its core, it is. Because otherwise, just do a documentary, and you know, you could go through that in a half hour on YouTube. You know what I mean? And this really gets into the very human experience that everybody can relate to.
yeah, I think without their love story, first of all, there would have been no President Ronald Reagan if it wasn't for Nancy. And even Ronnie appreciated that about her. I mean, he wrote her these love notes every day, which is something you don't hear about very often or hear about him. So these are things that were surprising to all of us, but so cool to see that, and to see that that was sort of the driving force that created this man and their relationship, and then seeing how it ends up and him getting Alzheimer's, and you know what that must have felt like at that time for such a man who was so eloquent and the great communicator. And anyway.
And you know, the movie covers him as a boy in Dixon, Illinois, all the way through when he did say goodbye to the American people when he found out he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, which is a very courageous thing to do back then. It wasn't talked about, and that's probably his last living legacy.
Yeah,
of course. Well, thank you so much both for your time. I thought two fantastic performances and a really interesting and compelling movie. So thank you so much. Lovely to
thank
see
you
you.
so much. We really appreciate it.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You too.